Hey everyone, I'm Greg Smith, Remax Alliance, and talking about a topic that's becoming much more prevalent and growing, always growing. It's not going to go away. Is how do we convert online leads? As probably one of the first websites in Boulder Valley, when in 1998 we built the BoulderHomeSource website. We actually have gotten to a point where we have over 70,000 registered users. We have about 400 people that register on a monthly basis. I do actually have a lot of agents that come up and say, Greg, hey, I'm getting these online leads, but I'm having trouble converting them. How do you convert leads to a sale? And it's a process, but I will tell you, we have actually done, I personally have one client that I've done over $20 million in sales with that actually came in as an online lead. Think about that, 20 million in sale that came out on an online lead. But as a company, we've actually done over $200 million in sales that can be actually taken directly back to online leads. So how do we convert our online leads? And it really comes down to three pretty simple things that we don't take the time to do. Number one is being prepared. Number two is having an objective in your call. And number three is your rapport. And I would actually say there's a number four. We'll put it up is follow-up, but we'll talk about that. Follow-up is also critical. So number one, being prepared. When the online lead comes in, usually we actually know why they're coming in. We know what property they're coming in on. We know what their interests are. So we can actually research the area, get insight on the statistics, and get some in-depth information before we get to that lead. You know, I like to do a quick search. Can I find them on LinkedIn? Can I find them in Facebook? Can I get some additional information about that person before I call them? And that helps me to go into the call prepared. So that way I'm coming in, I'm prepared, I know what they're talking about. I'm actually saying, hey, you looked at 123 Elm Street. Have you had a chance to look at the other three homes that are in the neighborhood? Why did you pick 123 Elm Street? What's special about it? What's different about it? What did you like about it other than the other three homes? They see you as an expert. They know that, hey, this person knows what's going on in that marketplace. But number two is having an objective. If you go into a call with an objective, and we call it the four kings, I guess you could say, but having an objective going into the call, you want to step back and say, figure out, well, what is the timing of that buyer? What is their motivation? What's the location that they're looking in? And what's their qualification? If you can actually get that information, it really helps you down the process. What is their motivation? Why are they coming? Is it a job? Is it family? Are they grandparents? They want to be closer to the grandkids. There's some great insight. You think about that. That gives me insight that maybe I should be providing them information on East Boulder Rec Center that has a great seniors program. I get, what is their motivation? Gives me great insight. But number four, the piece I talked about is qualification, which is the lender. One of the things that is we don't take advantage of enough is having a great relationship with our lender. That is one of the key things converting online leads. If I have an amazing relationship with my lender, an easier yes is stepping back and say, well, have you had a chance to speak with your lender? And they're usually going to say no. But then I step back and say, well, I have an incredible lender, in our case, Cheryl Coleman, that does an amazing job. Would you like me to have her reach out? And you will find out, actually, most of the time they can say, sure, I'd love to have her reach out. And then once they establish that relationship with your lender, they actually become much more connected with you. You get to have a chance to follow up. Did you get a chance to speak with Cheryl? Cheryl gets actually an opportunity to say how wonderful you are. So having that relationship with the lender is a key piece in the conversion process. And it's part of that those key items of that time, that motivation, that location, and qualification. But I think a lot of agents, they miss out on that qualification piece and conversion. We know it's critical. Number three is building rapport. Are you asking your questions? Are you really getting we all know what the four, are you talking about family? Are you talking about occupation? Are you talking about recreation? Are you talking about dreams? I find that my follow-up email or my follow-up call is far more powerful if I can provide them information on something that had nothing to do with real estate. Say this person's moving here from California and they're interested in rugby. Well, if I provide them information on the local men's rugby club, I've actually connected much more to them than I would have if I sent them another property. Or if I find out that their kids are going to Fairview High School and I get them the contact information for the wrestling coach at Fairview High School, or I get them the principal's contact information, they've already shown that I go above and beyond than just being that listing provider. So yes, we want to provide them listings, we want to provide them information on real estate, but by building rapport, we build that deeper relationship that creates them a long-term relationship. You ask, how have we been so successful in converting online leads? How have we done over $200 million in sales of online leads, which is over $600,000 in commissions, I guess you could say. So it is actually doing those three items: being prepared, having an objective, and actually building rapport. But number four, which as I said, is then following up and not giving up. You will find that if you call them and you had that amazing relationship and they don't call you back, it's not because they didn't like you. It's actually because they have a lot more going on in your life. I can't tell you how many times I've actually had that amazing call and I followed up with that person every week for 3 months and they never heard back to me. But on month 4, they call me and say, "Hey Greg, I'm sorry, I've been busy. I want to get back to you. We are going to be flying in next weekend and would love to look at houses." If I'd actually been stepped back and said, "Oh man, they don't like me," I would have lost that transaction. But actually, they just had far more important things to do. So I guess that's another piece. Make sure you have that good follow-up. So if you have any other questions about online leads or how to get online leads or insights about online leads, I'm here to help. It is actually truly one of my areas of expertise, and I love to share. So again, Greg Smith, Remax Alliance. Be sure to give me a call. Thanks. Bye.